Hello and welcome. This is another stream. Not playing anything this time, just gonna be drawing. Nothing too serious. As I mentioned in my earlier stream, I had thought about working on a new model, because as much as I love my little frog PNG Tuber, it is more of a just a start. So for now, we're just gonna hang out, draw, chat a little bit maybe. I think I started that up too high. For now though, I'm gonna start with just the sketch to get something going. Which this is something I had sketched previously while I was at work, just to get something going. Like a more anthro-ish version of my little frog. And let me see here. Cool. Now I'm hoping everything works how I want it to. I did set up a chat overlay. I make no promises that it works, since I am just simply working with what I have at any given point. I'm more of an artist than a tech person. I'll be so for real with you guys. But this is going to be real simple, real basic. And then once I get the sketch to a point that I like, I'll go ahead and start breaking it down into the layers to make it more usable for PNG Tuber Plus, since that is what I use for my current PNG. There we go. I don't think that's too bad. Honestly, adding the mouthpiece helps a lot on this. Which, for anyone wondering, I am using Corel Painter 8s, and I do have a drawing tablet that I got on Amazon. It's just a cheap little thing. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. And for ease and accessibility, I am having the drawing mirrored right now. I'm not really currently using anything as a reference. Just doing what feels right. Granted, do you really need a reference to draw a frog in a hoodie? And part of the different colors I'm using right now are just layers of understanding what I need to draw and where. Up over here, this is the color palette that I'm using for my little frog right now. And more stuff will be added as we go and work on a couple of things. See, I don't need anything super crazy to start with. Now, one of the important things for at least PNG Tuber Plus is knowing where the layers break down, which I had it written down at one point. I should probably rewrite it again so I have it kind of on standby. And it's just a reference guide. And I know it'll be mirrored on the other side, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that right now. Let me actually, I can open, here we go, this has it here. This is something I'm slowly working on for my little frog, to have something for him to be standing on actually, instead of just floating in space. There we go. So we can close that one. Now that you guys got a little sneak peek into the workings. So, over face. Will mostly just be blue glasses. If I could spell. And the blush. I think the blush would be cute. And then eyes and mouth. See, once we start finalizing this more, essentially we'll have one frame of the eyes blinking and one frame of the eyes open. Now the eyes and mouth will have to be separate, since the way PNG Tuber works, to my knowledge, is there's a little, essentially a counter that determines when the eyes are blinking and when they're not. And I know I have mine currently set to a random, like 1 and I think 139 chance for my little frog to blink, which is super cute. Open and talk silent. I don't really think I have any head items, so I'm not super concerned about that right now. so I can erase this over here. Because we don't need all of that right now. Or we don't need all of that over there. Cool, 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 cool. I am also, well, maybe not, never mind. It's a little goofy, so I'm just hanging out. Which I think this is a pretty good basic start to what I want to do. I don't think it's too bad. So, go ahead, dim that down. And we'll start with some simple things. Now, in general, I'm going to be making my thing kind of close to how, well, maybe. I'm just going to be making a frog with glasses. Oh, nope, wrong glare. See, I do that a lot. I'll start drawing and it'll be the wrong glare of things. Which is totally chill. Like, I'm just here for a good time. And thankfully with this one being more of like a head-on view, it'll be super nice and easy to just have the drawing mirrored, since there aren't really any details that will require one side to look different than the other. And then possibly, if we get this all done tonight, when I next stream, I'll be able to have this set up and can either use this model or my current one. I think they would both be super cute. get some of the like glasses glare going on. Oh, I should be labeling my layers as I go. Because that will be important. There we go. That looks like some cool glass now. Maybe like, there we go. I like that. That's a good opacity for that. So we got our glasses done. We got the lenses for the glasses done. Let's go ahead and work on drawing like the eyes and such. Now, I don't plan for this to be a long stream, more just a relaxed, here we are hanging out. Back to, actually, I might use Drippy Pen for this. Nope. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. I think I want to redo the eyes though, because the flat color is a little rough. Turn that back up. Oh. So increase the size of this. That is not as sharp of edge as I would like. How does that give a sharp edge? Ooh, yeah, that does. I guess we'll go with that. It's not too bad. I kind of like that. can get very particular with how the pixels end up lining up. Okay, and then we'll stop mirroring for a tiny bit while we add some cool things. So something I did on this PNG Tuber I have is this fairy dust brush to use to add basically not quite color to the eyes, but just a tiny little something different instead of just like black orbs. And one of the best ways I have found to do that is to, oh, there we go. I'm so terrible at this. I make the joke all the time. Whoever told me I could draw was lying. And they need to try to get their money back. They bet on the wrong horse. Or frog. You see, as much as I enjoy that, I don't know if that fits the vibe of this one. How about this? Oh, yes. There we go. I like that. Zoom out a tiny bit so I can see the other eye while I do this. I feel like it almost looks like the back of like a Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic card. And then there is a glow effect. And what I'll do is in the layers, effects, focus, soften. Oh, perfect. And then we add the glow. To give it kind of the illusion of that it's actually glowing. Or not glowing, but like shiny. There we go. Look at that. Look at her. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm actually really proud of that. So we'll go ahead and collapse these layers together. And we're going to do one of these and turn mirroring back on. While we go ahead, once I pull the color from the middle of this again. And work on drawing the eyes closed model, which this one will be a lot easier, at least in my opinion. let's go ahead. Let's do the little blush. Oh, no thank you. Just because I know the blush will be real easy to do. Oh. There we go. Easy. Because that'll be put in as its own. Alright. Now, go ahead and start working on. Let's start with the torso, because the head will have to rest on top of the torso. Now this might, oh my goodness, oops. Now this might end up looking a tiny bit strange, because what we're in essence going to do is when we draw the torso, we're going to overdraw outside of the sweatshirt, or under the sweatshirt, because with my little figure here, I'll be able to set the bounce of my character, so that way whenever I talk I can bounce up out of the sweatshirt a little bit. And we'll have to make sure we overdraw the model as a whole anyway. Need to increase the size of this again. Let's go ahead here. See, I don't necessarily know how detailed I want to go yet. But some details could in turn. Especially for something that will be used on stream for lots of people to see. Hopefully lots of people to see. But it's a really simple and fun thing. I know I kind of taught myself how to draw, but it really started when I was in middle school. A friend of mine, she was really into Spyro and would draw some of the dragons from Spyro. And so I learned how to draw starting out by drawing dragons, which it wasn't anything crazy. Here, we'll do a little detour, make a separate layer for this. Basically, you draw like the snout. This was always the starting point. I don't know why. Like the jaw here. And then you just start like shaping the head. Give it an eye, maybe some horns if you're feeling fancy. But just like that. That is kind of how I learned how to draw. Which is nothing crazy. But I think it's a fun story, and I think even on the general sense, I've definitely grown a lot in drawing and have done a lot of it over the years, which I need to start drawing some more as is, and that's part of why I started streaming, and PNG tubing in particular, is being able to draw and make my own character models is something really, really nice. It seems like it would be such a complicated thing, and I'll admit it's not easy. I'm still learning. I've only been streaming for about a week now. But just kind of something to do while I'm here. I've been working really hard on the things I do. But I'm kind of hoping if this goes well, I'll be able to start doing more and more. Alright, but for now we'll keep focusing on the line work and getting that to a better point, which I'm the type of person, at least in Painter, I like to draw the lines and then basically erase them into shape. what's always worked best for me personally. But I also started drawing on paper and pencil like most people do. And that gives me the opportunity, though, to tweak as I go. It's one thing I've personally learned, especially with a drawing tablet, is with your eraser, if you have your pressure sensitivity set right, you should be able to just go ahead and like lightly erase, and it keeps the eraser at a really fine point. You don't have to go in and change the size of the brush every time. So like if I go to this little section here and I want it to be a little sharper, I can just do this, because also if you're not pressing down too hard, you don't have to worry about the opacity. Pretty much if you can draw with a light hand, that is how I do that. Now, I know everybody draws a little bit differently, and ultimately with art, do what works best for you. You don't have to worry about knowing all the exact and proper methods. Now, in all fairness, there are some phenomenal tutorials out there by lots of super talented artists. I know while I was in a phase of wanting to really focus and make my art better, the channel on YouTube is Draw with Jazza. He is an amazing artist, first and foremost, but he does have a playlist of just general like drawing tutorials and tips. Now, I know he is more a traditional artist in the sense of paper and pencil, but I'm pretty sure within the past few years he's recently gotten more into digital art. But I also like all different types of arts. I know another channel I really like and take a little bit of inspiration from in general is Delightful, who she is a doll customizer, and that is a skill and talent that I could only wish to have and replicate. Being able to fully customize dolls, especially working on a scale that small, is beyond impressive. Okay, here we go. Open this up a little more. When we get to the point that we can add color to like these rivets on the sweatshirt, there's a method I saw and want to try to make the rivets look more metallic, but for now I just wanted them separated from the drawstring of the hoodie. And that should be good. I am going to, however, I know a lot of sweatshirts will have kind of like a square here where the stitching goes, which is pretty easy to just add in real quick. And soon, put this below here, because layer 4 is the hoodie outline. I'm trying to do what I can to make sure everything is very properly labeled, because the labels are super important, because I will lose track of what is what layer and why. But I'm thinking, oh wait, that's a line I want to fix really quick before we move on to the color. So just like that. Okay, yeah, that's better, that's better. And I think like this gray pink would be really cute. I hope it works with PNG Tuber Plus, because I know when I capture it in OBS, it's kind of funky in particular about the backdrop. Is right now I have my backdrop set to the magenta, since that's just what personally was working for me and how my model is set up. Slide this over. And for anyone just tuning in, hi and welcome. I am currently drawing in Corel Painter 8, working on a possible new PNG Tuber model. Not that I dislike mine, but I had the idea semi-recently to do more of like an anthropomorphic frog for some streams. Basically have options in what model I'm using when I stream. So for now, go over that. That's not too bad. And what I'm going to do, so I don't lose this color, I'm going to add it to the color palette that I have. First, I'm going to unlock it. Add it over here. And then for the inside of the sweatshirt hood, make it a little darker. And when we do that, once we actually draw the torso of my model, most of it will be covered, and we'll be able to add in the shadows kind of behind where the torso would be. Which, for those of you who do not know how the PNG Tuber model works, I use PNG Tuber Plus for my model, and basically need to set it up in different layers. So I've got the hoodie right now. I worked on adding like this little blush, eyes closed, eyes open. I added my glasses. And that's about as far as we've gotten right now. So what I'm actually going to do to help with the shadowing, because the shadowing is going to be part of the model as is, I'll go ahead. I like using the airbrush on the soft digital pressure, and if you get it at like a deep enough or heavy enough point, it's just a subtle change. It would help if I put it on the correct layer, I won't lie. Like the soft digital pressure is really nice about how it does things. Just like that. So we've got the shadowing in the back of that. We'll go ahead back to this default color. And we'll add some shadowing on here as well. Just to ensure we've got good shadows on the model itself. Oh wait, I should probably like lasso it, or not lasso, what's it called? Whatever it's called. So that way it's not leaking out into the background. Which if it did, that's not the end of the world. Because we make do with what we have. And then I think I can go ahead and collapse these layers. So my hoodie is all one layer now. Oh shit, wait, I didn't do the drawstrings. Well, the drawstrings are just like that now. That's a lie. I can go back and uncollapse those layers and go into the hoodie outline. Now here's where we'll get real specific with everything. I'm going to do this layer on top and get the fine point pen. And we'll do like a little silver thing. Just like this. And we'll go ahead and magic wand that. And go with the glow. And basically just alternate colors to make it look shiny. Adding different layers of different colors. And I think the airbrush would be good as well for this, for some darker colors, especially where the string is going to come out. And then get the fine point pen with the white. Really get in here with this one. That's not too bad. So I'm going to actually just copy and paste this layer and shift it over here. And erase this extra one because, you know. So now we've got both of those. We'll collapse these layers. Put the hoodie line back up. That. Connect this. Actually, I could just collapse all three of these into the hoodie. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the string of the hoodie a different color. this brush for it. Let's see if I can get it in kind of like a braided effect. Pull it up, comes up. Oh, it's the hoodie outline, that's why. There we go. Wait, what? Why was Caitlin banned? Oh, how'd that happen? Oh, hello. For a second I thought it said you got banned and I was so confused. Hi Caitlin, I'm drawing. I don't know if you were on when I had talked about it earlier, but talked about making almost like an anthropomorphic version of my little frog of it. So we're just drawing. And then, oh, something I need to ask everyone, because hey, hide in the shadows, do it. But something I'll need to ask everyone. I know, because I looked into this myself a little bit while I was working on the best way to do my PNG thing, is that there's a way that I can almost force the Discord overlay to have different pictures for everyone. And so what I'm going to do is ask everyone like what kind of little drawing they would like to represent them on there. So then when we do group games and I have Discord pulled up, I can also capture this overlay and everyone will have their own little custom picture. I think that would be cute. It basically would replace your guys' icons in my personal overlay for the stream. Okay, if I remove this. Okay. Oh shit, I realize this is not going to work how I want it to now. Unless. See, hold on, we're gonna science this. Yeah, that's science. But we'll come in here with this little detail brush. Specifically on these. Because part of my goal will be I can make the drawstrings kind of bounce when I talk. Not really outlining anything in particular, just adding some things. See, I'm almost surprised and not surprised that there haven't really been any, like, bots who have joined. But I don't think they really join just hang out drawing streams, which I'm not mad at that. me time to just hang out, chill. And I don't think they'll join a stream about drawing to advertise, like, hey, if you need someone to draw your art for you. There we go. That works. And make the hoodie drawstrings its own layer so they can bounce later. But a hoodie has been made. So we'll go ahead. I should probably collapse the hoodie outline to the hoodie itself. Because that does seem mildly important. And we'll collapse all of that and turn this back on. And resume here. And like I talked about earlier, while we do this part, we're going to, oh wait, no, I was supposed to keep the back of the hoodie separate. Hold on. I can fix this. Oh, easy game, actually. Because my model will have to sit on the inside of the hoodie. There we go. Easy fix. I was worried that would not work well in my favor with the shadowing, but we did it. Anyway. I also should look into like how to play music on stream without getting copywritten. Because something like a stream like this would be so good if we had music playing and just to hang out. Like some royalty-free lo-fi or something. I can become a DJ. It's like, I know more big time YouTubers and streamers have the ability to just like kind of have music playing without getting copyright struck. But I don't even want to risk that. Because that feels like a lot. But I feel like there has to be like an extension or a widget or something to be like, hey, here's like a jukebox. You guys can put songs in it if you want, and I'll listen to whatever you guys say and accept it as my reality for the duration of whatever song it is. that's pretty smooth, pretty smooth. I just don't like this lump here or here, but it is easy to smooth out. Okay. I also noticed the thing I set up to try to show, like, have chat on the stream for everyone to see is still just like a black rectangle. Hold on, let me see. Okay, well there's that. But how do I get the Twitch to accept it? Alright, now is this going to work? Oh, maybe? Aha! There we go, I think it's gonna work. Connecting to chat. Oh jeez, that's big on the side now. I didn't need it big on the side. This is part of why I am not a professional streamer. This channel does not exist or has been suspended. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna test this here. Nope. Dude. Oh, these things suck. Okay. Actions, try it out. Maybe I didn't set this up right. Wonder if I do this. Oh. Oh. Oh jeez. Where'd that go? Where'd that go? Where in fact there it goes. Where in fact there it goes. Apologize for the technical things I'm working on. this Twitch overlay that I'm trying to get to see. Actually, never mind. We'll deal with that all later. Right? I don't know what about that just made the biggest echo. But we could play with that later. It's set up for a different time. It's just one of those, it's hard to set up without being actively streaming because it relies on the stream chat. But that's okay. Eventually I'll have a thing that works better for that. As I don't know what I did in OBS, but I can very actively hear myself through my mic, which I'm not mad about. It helps a little bit to kind of hear what I'm sounding like, which is very helpful. Basically, there's a lot of things I want to try to set up, but part of setting up a lot of things is, well, setting up a lot of things, and it sucks. So maybe one day I'll just do a stream of just setting up and testing a bunch of things, and hope I don't accidentally dox myself or something, because honestly that sounds like something I would probably end up doing. But for those of you watching who are wondering why I'm going past my sketch outline for this part of the drawing, I use PNG Tuber Plus for my PNG model here, and part of that is every part of the model gets added in layers. So when I have the hoodie in, I'm going to have the actual torso of my model move up higher than the hoodie of it. So I need to overdraw my model a bit, so that way it fully covers when I bounce up and there's not a cutoff. Just a little insight into the inner workings of a PNG tuber, I suppose. I did also see after my last stream, we are up to 10 followers, which I know in the grand scheme doesn't seem like a lot, but starting out, that is absolutely amazing. And I want to thank everyone. That's the kind of thing that makes me feel like, hey, maybe there are some people interested in a small little frog who plays games and draws. So thank you guys, and I'm going to keep doing what I can to make hopefully entertaining content for you guys. And eventually, I'm hoping I can get my integration of YouTube on my Twitch channel working, so I can just straight upload my VODs to YouTube once they're done streaming. But right now, I have a feeling it's just something because I use Opera for my browser that the integrations are a little weird. Okay, yeah, I think that covers the model. And then for the sake of making coloring it easier, I'm going to essentially cut off and make a bust down here. And I'm not worried about making sure this line is perfect since it will be hidden for the most part by the hoodie. And then maybe as time goes, I do in general want to learn how to work with Blender. So once I do that, maybe I'll be able to make more of a 3D model and have it actually tracked and emote. Or maybe I'll get enough to pay someone to do it. Alright. I'm going to hide the sketch for now. And do a final check for colors. Actually, don't like where that is. I think that would look better. More like here, I'll say. And then add a tiny bit of details for the throat. There we go. I like that. I like how that looks. So we'll move this up here. This is torso outline, or torso colors. And this layer is torso outline. But I am going to be using the same basic colors for my model here that I did for my other one. Oh, I forgot I did that. Oh, it's fine. It's an easy fix. The way the outline works, I don't know why it doesn't go all the way to the edge. It's mildly disappointing. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, no. I'm assuming this close to the drawing has a purpose. Here's this, and here's, ooh. What all does that cover? That covers too much of everything. We're going to undo that. Yike. Okay. We'll just fill in the rest by hand. I don't mind. It's less than ideal. Oh, that's why it's like that. Silly me. Now I should be able to get kind of right up under the outline with this. Oh, I'm silly. Like I said, whoever taught me how to draw, or whoever said I could draw, totally lying. Nope, too far. Too much. Oh well. Now we go only to the torso colors, and then fill this all in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Okay. Now we can clear that. Layering in drawings is hard. Let me see. I don't usually build up layer by layer like this when I draw. Part of this is purely just for PNG Tuber Plus and making that work. There we go. Alright, so that's the color on the head done. Now let's get down to this torso area. But I think this would also just be a cute model to use. Not that I think there's anything wrong with my current model. I really like my current model, and I'm proud of it. But also something with a little more, just a little more. But I also realized something I want to do, which is going to make the rest of this process a little more difficult. Because if I want the head to be separate and have a little more bounce than the rest. But I think if I'm careful about it, I can grab just this much. Same here. Let me make sure I got that So the cutoff did not cover that, which is fine, We'll make it work. Forgot I needed the head to be separate from the torso. Can you, like, that doesn't work. Oh well. But the reason, oh, yeah, I'm working on a little bit of a new model. I had the idea while I was bored at work yesterday of making, for lack of better terms, more of like a furry type model. So like little anthropomorphic frog. Don't know if I'll like full swap it yet or not. But let me find right here is, here's kind of the little sketch of it. A little more humanoid than my little tiny frog, but just something a little different. Essentially have options to cycle through depending on the game and how I'm feeling. Which the small frog model is still going to be used sometimes. And then eventually I'll also work on adding like hats and stuff for the tiny model. And plus, I think, and I could totally be wrong on this part of it, but I always think it could be interesting to actively work on the model while doing all this. Hold on. Basically, the making of these models is such an interesting process, even just to me. I know it's relatively simple, but the complexity of knowing where and how to layer everything, as well as when it comes to certain aspects of it, being able to overdraw what you're doing. So when the model bounces, you don't have to worry about the cutoff of the previous layer showing. Because as well, outside of my current model just bouncing when I talk and having the mouth open and close, this new model is going to have more areas of it that will bounce and move. It'll be slightly more complex and include accessories like glasses and things like that. Which is where up here, I know I when I added the hoodie color in, I still had the mirroring on. But essentially, there are 5, the tutorial I watched talked about, there are 5 model groupings, if that makes sense. But knowing where to layer what model. And then once everything is drawn, I have to save each individual layer of the model as its own transparent PNG. Once I do that, I just stack them all in PNG Tuber and make sure everything lines up, it's in the proper orientation it needs to be in, and ensure that when it talks, it moves correctly. Everything like that. Awesome. So overdrawing the head here, or the neck here, when I actually put the head on, when the head bounces slightly above the neck and the torso, you won't see the cutoff of, oh, I separated the head from the neck. You'll just see more neck, basically. Which also means I need to... Thankfully, this isn't going to be as crazy. Is then it'll also show me where all I need to add the shadows on the neck when I layer everything. And I'm not sure if I'll have the glasses bounce at the same rate as the head, or if I'll have it bounce slightly more since it's a separate part of the head. Essentially, this model is a lot more detailed than the other one. A lot more details, a lot more literal moving parts. But here, oh, wrong one. That is now too big. As well, there's a couple of... Well, I have thought about looking into 3D modeling. That's something that would take me a lot more time to learn how to do and sort out, since it is something I would want to try to do on my own. If I do, I would want to use Blender first and foremost. But to use Blender, I would have to learn how to use Blender. But once I get the model set up, I would have to learn how to rig it as well, which I'm not worried about the tracking of the rigging yet, because I do have a pretty decent webcam. But I've also seen too many like horror stories of people who set up their VTuber model and it's all ready to go. Everyone's super happy and excited for it. But then the camera program that tracks the model ends up getting shown instead of the model itself. And I don't know why that freaks me out so much. Like, I know it wouldn't be a huge deal if something like that happened, but nonetheless, it scares me. And plus, honestly, the PNG models are so much easier. There's that. I'm not going to worry about cleaning up the top and the bottom of this because they should mostly be hidden by the other pieces once everything's all assembled together. Collapse these all together. And add a layer on top of here to start adding our shadows. That's the other thing too about my current model is the way it's layered and the way the mouth moves. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the mic. Is there's not really a good way to add shadowing. Oh, no, don't want to select all that. I'll select all of the green, or at least this green. And these greens as well. Where it is just the small details like this little shadow here that can make really big differences. I'm going to turn the hoodie back on and put it above the torso so I can see where where this is going. Oh, and at least for this part of the hoodie, I should remove that. Oh, did I accidentally put that on the hoodie layer? No, I didn't. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And see, we have that. Now as well, if I add this back in, once I put the yellow cowl, or the more yellowy green on top of this here, then it'll essentially look like all one piece. But I think the torso is done. So I should collapse the torso outline to the colors. I can't collapse layers, I can't see. Just torso. Alright, and then we'll go back to the head, hide the torso, clear the selection. But what I'm gonna do here is get back to this color. And then after I do this, we can clean up any loose edges like that. Like this. Make sure both colors are on the proper side of the line. But once we get the head fully made and shaded, we'll be and get an open mouth model drawn. Then we'll be able to start saving and pulling everything into PNG Tuber. Which, same deal, we'll go with, not that, the digital watercolor, or air thing. You know what I mean. Go with the shadowing, like right here first. Actually, let's go back. Select only this one first. Add that shadowing there. And then clear this selection here, which the shadowing for this darker green is also different and darker. While simultaneously I have a lighter color for each as well, because that was one thing I made sure to do when setting up my previous model, is to have essentially the mid-tone, a darker and a lighter color for each piece. So now that we've got that, to make the open mouth layer, what I'm gonna do I'm going to copy and paste this layer. Pull the color from here and just pick how I want the mouth to look open. Maybe something a little more like that. And just doop, doop, doop. Not 100% sure how I feel about that yet, but if we start adding all the layers back in, I need to erase this line here. I don't think I'm worried about this light green line where it separates, because that'll be fine. Add this back in, but that's under everything. It'll be fine. Alright, what is... Let's make sure every layer is labeled. That's the head color. So I'm actually going to duplicate this layer as well. And this will be the mouth open. So close that out. Layer 3 is the outline for the head. So collapse these layers. This is mouth closed. I don't know what layer number 5 is, so we're not going to worry about that. We're going to remove the outline. Hide that for now. What was layer 6 even? Okay, we're not worried about that. The hoodie drawstrings are there. So I think we'll save this just in general first and foremost. First we'll save as. That's the work in progress, and then we'll go through one by one, layer by layer, and save everything individually. I think there's a way. Okay, so that's everything. I'm gonna combine the glasses into one layer. But now I need to remember how I did this before. So that's glass is saved. Which, while I'm working on getting everything loaded into and saved, would you guys like to see how to set up the PNG Tuber? I realized I named this the wrong thing when I saved it. That one's mouth closed, this one's mouth open. And then, last thing is the drawstrings of the hoodie. Alright, so I'm gonna pull PNG Tuber over to my main monitor. And we'll go ahead and change. We'll turn off the chroma key filter while I work on this. So now you can see, here's my cute little current model. First, I also need to go into the files of the computer and find my PNG Tuber thing. Where did this? I'm trying to remember how this works. Was it a lot? So if I go into where did I have that? Where does it go? I will find where it goes, because I need to drop all the assets into nope, not that. Where do I have the Froge assets saved? Because once I find where all the Froge assets are saved, I can drop this folder of assets into that folder. you get to see the super exciting and interesting back end of PNG Tuber Plus while I work on finding this. It's not in here still, is it? No. I feel like it shouldn't be this hard for it to search my files. While that's loading, though, I will be right back. I've returned, and my computer is still thinking about where this is saved. Hold on, I can find this. If I put my heart, mind, and soul into it, I also don't need my drawing tablet anymore. So we'll put that away, because I will need my keyboard. So, fun fact of the day about me. I am super terrible at file management. Hence the most of what's happening right now. Trying to find. Yeah, I know. It's been like that. I'm still working on making everything work properly. I just kind of went for it. And from here, no idea. Yes, so I am going to be setting up the new model on stream as well. The current problem is I'm a little dumb. So for real, I don't remember where I'm supposed to move the folder of assets to. So I'm basically just searching my file explorer to find where I'm supposed to put my assets in so I can have it all here and ready. But this is like the back end of PNG Tuber. Oh, wait, could I just do that? Does that work? No? Dang. It was worth a shot. But once I find where I'm supposed to save this and have this set of files, we will be unstoppable. I just can't find where the hell I'm supposed to put this. Here's how we'll do. Because I saw it before and I don't remember how I got to it. Because getting to it is how I had to set up this one. So look for this in particular. Which is sort of what I was saying. I'm so horrendous at file management. But I also didn't plan on having an idea for a new model very soon. Okay, that's a Steam shader cache. High key, I might just have to look at the tutorial I watched again and hope it will tell me where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. Because boy, how am I confused. Here we go. This is the one I used before. It's muted, which is good because we don't need that overlapping again. Okay. Here we go. double speed that. Find where to put these. Default avatar, yep. Mic symbol, edit, if you don't see this interface, blah 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 blah. Actually, I think if I remove that, can you still hear everything? This is a completely unrelated. This is me just trying to sort something out. Well, actually, no. Never mind. That's fine. Okay, here's this. PNG Tuber doesn't have the hotkeys if you don't have that pulled up. How do I get here? Okay, cool. I got this now. This user me. If I can just find this one folder, then I should be set. See, once you can get everything in and loaded, the layering itself isn't too difficult. It's more just knowing where and how to load, and then you can assign certain things for certain stuffs. hey, that's how you do it. Now I just feel silly. So when you're in this page of PNG Tuber Plus, you just hit escape and it pulls up the thing that has all the stuff that you need for this. Alright. So let's go ahead and delete all of these for now. Which I'm sure is not going to look super weird at all. Well, goodbye, little frog. Thank you for your time. Alright. So, here we will start. The backmost should be the inside of the hoodie. And we'll add... No. Oh. It doesn't matter. We'll fix it all and organize it all later. I think I already put the inside of the hoodie on, but that's okay. And the torso. Alright. Let's start the layering. First, I think I had 2 of those. Yes, I did. So that'll get sent back there. This gets sent behind that. This stays forward here. Did I add the drawstrings? This gets sent forward. Actually, send that back. There are the drawstrings. There are the closed eyes. Glasses need sent all the way forward. Blush gets sent back 1, maybe 2? Yeah, right there. Where are the eyes? Open. There we go. And then this here is the talking one. This here is eyes closed. That's eyes open. This one, oh, this is mouth closed. So I need to set the other one as mouth open. Okay, this isn't too bad. Not too bad at all, except I think it needs sent back more. And it does jump, which is okay. When I set it on OBS, I can always set it down a little bit lower, so then we don't have to worry about that. What about this now? How does that... That's not terrible. Except the closed eyes are still up a little bit. Oh, nope, never mind. There we go. How does this look? Cool. So we'll add... Is there a way to add a tiny bit more bounce? Especially particularly with the drawstrings. Let's see. Because if I can get these to bounce kind of separately. Because first, let's test it with glasses. Do these rotate? Nah, they're not gonna rotate. Oh, that's why it's being weird. Okay, hold on. I don't think there's that. See, basic model setup is done. So we're gonna save this one as is. So we can work on, oh no, I just noticed the hoodie color. It leaks over. Oh no. That's okay though. Let's see. I wonder why it is directly blinking when I speak. Because it shouldn't particularly matter. Because the blinking should happen at any time, not just talking. Because this is eyes open, these are eyes closed. But it shouldn't blink whenever I talk. What did I do weird on this one? Okay, what happens if I upgrade the bounce force? That goes a little too high. Gravity though. Oh, less gravity means it bounces slower. Cool. Costume bounce. Yes, I think that's something I need. Except I don't have costume right now. And why do my eyes vanish when I'm talking? That's what it's doing. What about no? Okay, nope. What about here? Is that working better? Maybe? But is it going to blink when if at all? The blinking would be nice to see where that is and get that under control. So it's still trying to blink under the eyes. So if I set this here maybe? Nope, we're back to the same issue. This is here. Then I think if I move this up a couple models, or up a little bit, as long as it's behind the glasses still, it should be okay. Let's see how it works in action. If at all, if it doesn't work. Oh, you blink too fast. Why are you blinking too fast? 1 in 1 chance of blinking. In theory, well, let's go like 1 in 5 while we're working on this. So we can see how, oh, it blinks over top of the eyes and the glasses. Oh boy. If I set that here now instead. Oh. Okay. Nope, that's now behind the face. Okay, here's this. But did it unset these as... Oh, there we go. Maybe this will fix my problems. Ooh, yes. Everything is working and fixed now. Ah. I just need to move the blinking eyes down one more layer, I think. And then we should be okay. Nope, that's still above the eyes, or above the glasses. What about now? How's this looking? Because we don't blink over top of our glasses. That's still over top of our glasses. So we'll overwrite that one and see how this works now. You know what? Do I care? Oh, thank you. I'm still trying to make the blinking eyes not over top of the glasses. The layering in this is so complicated. Oh wait, why don't I just see? These are on layer 3. So then these should be on layer 2, I think. We'll save this and see what happens in the test. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Oh, I forgot the necklace I wanted to put on this. Oh no. That's why it's been looking so weird this whole time to me, is I wanted to put a necklace on it. Ah. Well, the nice thing is I still have Painter open, so I can just really quick find the torso. Here, we'll minimize this again, make it a little smaller. Back to the drawing board, basically. Literally. Frog torso. And then we'll add a layer for the necklace. Thankfully, though, I didn't plan anything crazy for the necklace. I'll just put this on top here so I can get the positioning correct. And then I kind of like a dark maroon string, basically. And then we can stop mirror while painting. Add another layer in. Because what I wanted to do actually, here's what I'll do, Robin, since you're here. Which, hi, by the way, if I hadn't said hi yet. What color should I make the pendant on the frog necklace? It is totally up to you. Which while you... oh, purple? I can do purple. Honestly, purple necklace would be super easy. But we'll make it look pretty and add all kinds of little, like, cute details to it. Because we have the technology. Oop. Honestly, that in and of itself doesn't look too bad. I love when the brushes just kind of work for this. So we'll do this and start working on making it look all cool and shiny and stuff. Including a little bit of a glow. For the glow, I don't want it really mirrored, because that'll look funky. Do here, do a little something there. Glow on the top there. There's this. Whoop. And then the digital water, soft air pressure, and like a darker color here. Kind of fill in that empty space a little bit. And there. I think that looks pretty cute. So I'll collapse all of... look, can I not select multiple layers right now? Why not? Oh, wait. I have the keyboard turned off. I am so good at this technology thing. And then turn off the rest of everything else so it's only the necklace. As nice thing is it should be easy to just add right in and not have to worry about a thing. And we'll close Painter because we don't need Painter anymore. But pull this back up to full screen. Hello, hello. And we'll add my necklace in. There we go. So we'll drop this there. So now that's in it. And then from here, here's the necklace. And honestly, I think it just landed exactly where it needed to. We don't have to worry about a thing. Super easy. Double save that. And there we go. This is the new kind of anthro model for my little frog. which I still might alternate between this and my other one. And before I forget, I'm going to turn my chroma filter back on, my chroma key filter in. Oh wait, but does it mess up the color of the necklace? Hold on, I'm going to slide this over here, and I'm gonna open a game, not for playing a game, just to make sure everything works in terms of like showing what it needs to and not green screening out specific parts of the model, which is why I have the chroma key filter on with it magenta, but I fear that the purple might interfere with the magenta. So we'll make this bigger so I can see. It's just with the necklace being so dark, it's hard to tell if this is working right. And I noticed there are two tiny weird little dots on the mouth open sprite. But you know what? I'm not worried about that. Two tiny little dots just gives it character. Nothing wrong with a little bit of character. Oh, schedule one isn't working. That's fine, that's fine. You know what? We'll open something else that doesn't consistently crash when I try to open it. But honestly, having the model drawn in like 2 hours, I don't think that's too bad. It's definitely been a fun time. Alright. Change the game capture. Oh no, there goes my shirt. Alright, let's see how I can change the chroma key. Because, yike, 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 yike. How can I, oh, no, we don't like green for this. This is why we do our best with what we have. I don't think blue works for this. Green definitely doesn't work for this for all of the above reasons. Oh, I think I need to custom color in PNG Tuber as well to get this to do its thing. If I go ahead and just go blue on this, how does that look with the chroma key? Nope. Oh, I love technology. Love, love, love. Green doesn't work. Magenta. And magenta. Oh, oh no. I forgot I still have to have this up. Okay, magenta like hides the sweatshirt. Let's see, what else do I got? I wonder if like a yellow would work if I just go full default yellow. If that'll work for this. Yellow. Oh, nope, that's worse. Alright. What if I go white? And no, that just kind of hides everything, it looks like. Yeah, no, that, I'm gone. I'm just missing now. If I go transparent, how does that work? Oh, the problem with transparent. Oh wait, but if I chroma key to black, will that do anything for me? No. Red maybe? I can try red. See if that works. Because I also have to like simultaneously change my background in PNG Tuber Plus while I do this. Since it's kind of a weird overlay. Custom color. Select color. Red. Just red. Oh, my sweatshirt is just gone now. The drawstrings are still there. I don't know why my game capture isn't capturing anymore either. Maybe I'll do something if I can put like a custom background in PNG Tuber. Have like my own little thing. What about this like weird hex color? I'll try this, and if this doesn't work, I will sort out the rest later. Okay, cool. I can just put it in here. How does that... Oh, well... It would help. Oh, that's why I minimized it. Or it's just going to completely vanish my person with the dark red chroma key. Okay. Dude. Green screens and stuff are hard. For no good reason. Like, I just want to have my cute little frog thing. Can I put, like, an image? Swatches. Because even if I try transparent in OBS, it still shows as, like, basically just a black background. And I can't really chroma key to black. Oh wait, what if I just remove? I don't think cyan would work too well. I can certainly try real quick. Boop. There's a cyan chroma key and PNG Tuber. Just straight to cyan. Keep PNG Tuber up, please. Not really. Whatever I just did, I've still got the outline for. What if... Oh no. We love technology. It is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Oh wait, hold on. I think I got it. I think the drawstrings on my tuber don't work too well with it. But actually, I think that means if I go back to magenta and then go into the chroma key, go to magenta, I can essentially set the similarity to here, smooth that out, keys, nope, we don't need to worry about that. And contrast is fine how it was. And I think we're good. I think we are all set up. There we go. I think it's working too, but I want to lower my model a little bit so when I talk and it jumps, it doesn't go too high above the bottom of the screen. Oh, da-da. Get this pulled back up. I don't think that's too shabby. Well, I think I can go ahead and close Stardew Valley as my little background thing. But thank you all for hanging out while I work on my little thing.